Have you ever wondered how you can find a job with a US employer that will sponsor you for an H1B visa? Well, there's a way to do that. Watch this video and I'll tell you more. Everybody, in this video we'll talk about the process of finding a job in the United States that will lead you to an H1B sponsor. So as you know, for any person to be able to work in the United States, they must get a work visa. The most common work visa is the H1B. The H1B visa, we've done many videos on that, and we'll link at least a couple of them in this video so you can understand what is an H1B visa. But in a nutshell, an H1B visa is a specialty occupation visa, which means that you must have at least a bachelor degree in the field of employment that will allow you to get a job with an employer. For example, an architect, an attorney, computer software engineers, all these positions are H1B jobs. But how do you find that job if you're an international student or a foreign worker currently in the United States or outside of the United States? Well, there is a specific process to follow. First of all, US employers are open to hiring foreign nationals. The only problem is that most of them are not aware of the process of doing so. So the first thing you have to do is educate yourself as to what is the process of getting an H1B visa. Because when you go to a job interview, you need to be able to explain to the employer at least some of those steps. So the first thing is educate yourself and understand what is the process of getting an H1B visa. So when you go to a job interview, you can tell the employer, as an employer, you need to sponsor me for the visa. What is a sponsorship? You need to be able to demonstrate that there is a position available for me, that there is a position that meets my qualifications, and you have to sign the forms and petition the government that you will pay me the salary that is required, and also that you will be able to offer me that job, full-time bona fide job, and that is something that has to be filed on April 1st of the fiscal year to start working in October 1st. In a nutshell, what is an H1B visa? So at least you're informed as to what the process is, and you're able to explain that to the employer at the job interview. The second thing is you have to really focus on companies that are actually sponsoring H1B employees, and not just send your resumes into the dark hole and just expect a response. You have to remember, most large companies, most national corporations in the US are not going to sponsor H1B visas. For example, most banks, most government contracting companies or affiliated with those companies are not really going to hire H1B workers. So your focus is maybe on smaller companies, medium-sized companies, tech companies like startups in Silicon Valley, in New York, some in the Midwest that are in need of talent, and they will at least entertain the opportunity to hire a foreign national. Some of the multinational companies that have branches in many countries are also going to be good candidates for you to apply. So don't waste your time on companies that are not or even remotely will hire foreign nationals. The third thing you should do is network. If you're in the US, you want to go, there's so many networking opportunities where you can meet employers, whether it's, if you're an engineer, you can go to startup meetups, open job fairs, and many of these events where you can actually meet employer representatives, connect with them one-on-one, and in the US is the best way to get an appointment. We say, hey, I met you at this event, can I at least meet you for coffee or something to be able to talk to them about the opportunity that you're looking for a job and you're employable. Another option is to connect with those employers by offering them something of value. For example, you can create a mini website about your credentials, and that offer you can explain to the employer how you can improve their process. We had a client who created a two-page website for each employer that he was applying, and he focused on 15 companies that he was eager to hire, and he provided almost like a roadmap as to how he's going to be improving their operations or the department that he's going to be working with by doing this little website, which took him like an hour to do for each employer. And it was worth it because 2 of them offered him a job because they thought it was super cool that he came up with this idea of creating a small website just for them, personalized. The key is to be informed of the process, to understand what it means, to give them the tools to the employers that are eager to hire you, make it easier for them to do so. And most of all, never give up, because there are employers in the US who are looking to hire foreign nationals, and if you're going to be different than the rest, you will get that job. Hopefully you found this video informative and interesting. If you did, give us a like and share it with your friends or anybody who may need this information. I thank you for watching. I will see you on the next video.